Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the League of Women. Sorry, guys. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the League of Women Voters of St. Lucie County's second night of candidate forums, the second night of the 2020 general election. My name is Andy Poley. I am the president of your local League of Women Voters. Just a few quick reminders and important information before we get started. You just saw a slideshow of all of the things that you should be reminded of and things that are happening. But mail-in ballots are going out on September 25th, which is in just a couple of days. You can request a mail-in ballot through October 24th. There will be several secure ballot drop-off locations throughout the county, and you can find those locations on the supervisor's website. Early voting starts on October 19th. The 5 locations for early voting that were there for the primary elections, same ones for the general. To learn more about the candidates, visit our online voter guide at vote411.org. The questions you hear this evening will be different than the questions you would find there, so you can become even more informed if you visit the website. Tonight, we're going to hear from candidates running for 2 offices, St. Lucie County Property Appraiser and County Commission District 3. We're going to start with our Property Appraiser. The format for both of tonight's forums is the same. It'll consist of a 90-second introduction from each candidate, followed by a series of questions. The candidates will be allowed 2 minutes to answer each question, and it will rotate back and forth. If we have time and there are questions posed by the Facebook live viewing audience, we may be able to present those. And then following that part, the candidates get a 2-minute closing. This is a forum. This is not a debate. So candidates will state their answers or their positions, and then we will move on to the next candidate or question. We don't invoke candidates back and forth here. Candidates will be alerted at 30 seconds remaining, and again, when their time is up, the candidates that are about to start right now, which actually we just have one at the moment, are going to be kind of surprised because we forgot to do the run through on the 30-second notification. So we're all going to see at the same time, but it's pretty clear what's going to happen. So I don't think she's going to be shocked. Our moderator for the forums, as always, is Carol Wyatt. Carol is the co-owner and operator of local radio stations WPSL in Port St. Lucie, WSTU in Stewart, and WJNX in Fort Pierce. She is the president of the WPSL Christmas Kids of St. Lucie County, past president of the Rotary Club, sorry, Kids, and a member of the Port St. Lucie Businesswoman. Carol has many years in broadcasting, including as a reporter in Los Angeles before moving to Florida in 1993. We are, as always, honored to have Carol as our moderator for this evening. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Carol.
Well, thank you, and welcome to the League of Women Voters of St. Lucie County Candidate Forums. As always, we want to thank the members of the League for developing the questions. We want to thank the candidates for participating, and especially everyone who is watching and listening, who has taken the trouble to inform yourselves before the general election. Now, our forum tonight is the St. Lucie County Property Appraiser. It is a term of 4 years. It's a county-wide race, so all registered voters in the county elect the property appraiser. Our candidates, the incumbent, Michelle Franklin, and Ghazanfar Saeed. Mr. Saeed was invited this evening. He has not joined us yet. If he does, then he'll be worked into to the forum as we go. So let's start with opening statements. Michelle Franklin.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate the League of Women Voters for putting this on. I know it's a lot of work to interview all these candidates, and so I appreciate your time. My name is Michelle Franklin. I am St. Lucie County's property appraiser and very honored to hold that role. Some of you may already know this, but I am from Northern Illinois, and on a cold winter day, like others, I decided maybe that wasn't the place I wanted to spend my time and looked for sunnier weather. So found myself in St. Lucie County in December of 1999. I left the banking career in Illinois and spent some time in Florida trying to decide what my next move was. I worked with an independent appraiser for a short time before coming to the property appraiser's office in January of 2004. Started really at the entry level answering phones and had an opportunity to learn and grow with the organization over the 12 years I had here prior to being elected. So spent some time working tangible personal property returns, measuring houses out in the field, answering phones, all of the things that make up the property appraiser's office prior to running for office in 2016 and being elected, taking office in January of 2017. So since that time, I've had a focus on customer service and enhancing technology, and I'm looking forward to the next 4 years.
Okay, well, let's start with the first question. The average citizen is not usually aware of the property appraiser until they buy or sell a home or they receive their annual trim notice. So what do you think is the most important thing people should know about the responsibilities of the property appraiser?
Well, the property appraiser's office actually has 3 main responsibilities. The one that probably doesn't impact them the most is mapping. The other 2 have a annual impact on their value and the taxes that they pay. So number 1, that we set value, and that is established on January 1 each and every year. So when you get that trim notice in August, you want to check that your market value reflects what you believe your value is, what your property was worth on January 1. And then the other piece is exemptions. So you want to check the box to confirm that you still have your exemption in place each and every year.
Okay, second question. In your opinion, is the appeals process fair and equitable to all property owners? If not, what improvements would you like to make?
Well, the appeals process is actually independently directed by the clerk of the court. So I really don't have oversight over the appeals. What I encourage property owners to do is to reach out to us first if they have any questions or concerns about the value or exemptions on their property. You know, we have just over 170,000 parcels in St. Lucie County of real property. And I know that's 170,000 better than you, but you know your property better than I do. So sometimes we can learn something about your particular property that we may not have been aware of. So hopefully we have a discussion. If we agree to disagree, then you go through that independent third-party process with the Value Adjustment Board that actually has members of our local community, business leaders, as well as elected officials from different areas that sit on that board to ensure that it's fair.
Okay. Third question, Florida, specifically St. Lucie County, has seen its fair share of ups and downs in the housing market. The fluctuations don't typically coincide with taxing deadlines, but they can have a detrimental effect on the system of taxation. What can be done to stabilize the effects of a volatile housing market on the property appraiser's office?
Well, we're governed by the Department of Revenue. So we send that roll up to Tallahassee each and every year. And as far as what we can do to make it, and I'll say in quotes, more fair, is we would need to change legislation as to how property taxes are done in the state of Florida. Throughout the state, they choose January 1 as your assessment date. So what can happen with the market after January 1 and all the way up until the following January 1, as we have seen here in St. Lucie County, can be up or can be down, and sometimes significantly throughout that year. But we would really need to change the laws that govern the property appraiser's office in order to make it more fair.
Okay, next question. Although the housing market has not experienced significant negative impacts from COVID-19, the citizens and businesses of St. Lucie County have. So what impacts to property appraisals do you anticipate in the year to come, and how will you address them?
Well, I've been blessed to join a special task force to give some recommendations, again, to our legislators up in Tallahassee to hopefully provide opportunities for those that have been impacted negatively. As you said, the residential real estate market has actually had a very positive effect. But with some businesses, especially our hospitality sector, they're really struggling. So our hope is to make some recommendations that the legislators and ultimately then the Department of Revenue can put in place that will allow some type of, if not extension or a break, a discount of some sort for the 2021 tax roll. as you know, the trim notices for 2020 have already gone out. The tax bills will be out November 1st. So we're looking at 2021 for some relief for those that have had a negative impact.
Next question. The shutdown resulting from the pandemic has brought to light many technological advancements that can reduce costs for businesses. In your opinion, are there technology changes to operations that the property appraiser can make that may reduce costs and save taxpayer dollars?
We were blessed. We were actually making some enhancements prior to COVID. So the turnaround for this office in particular, we were able to actually quickly turn on a dime and work remotely for most of the professionals within the office. As far as it impacting operations, you know, or the budget, I should say, it's tough because when you have more technology, it comes at a cost, and it actually can provide additional dollars for bandwidth as well as licensing. We have not had a negative impact on our budget because things were planned and ready to go for the property appraiser's office. But I wonder for those small businesses across the board that have had to pivot overnight, what kind of result is going to occur for them with businesses and how that will impact their income coming in.
Okay, and if elected or re-elected, what would your priorities for improving the efficiency and accuracy of the functions and responsibilities of the property appraiser's office be?
Well, we're going to lose about 10% of our staff because of the longevity, which is so wonderful here, but we've got about 10% of our staff that's actually going to be retiring over the course of the next 4 years. So we have a real opportunity, institutional knowledge that is going to be walking out the door, but an opportunity to train professionals that are coming in, as well as using technology smarter, and hopefully that it will be able to be a little quicker about assessments with that technology. So the Department of Revenue actually mandates that we are on each of our 70,000 properties once every 5 years at a minimum. We are now using aerial photography to complete those visits. So with technology, we'll continue to enhance, we'll learn more and more products, if you will, are coming out for mass appraisal daily, especially with this COVID time. So many companies are learning how to pivot and offering services that they have not in the past. So we'll be looking at that technology, enhancing the website again. We are in the developing stages of our next website enhancement. And then, of course, how just really to ensure our accuracy. We've done a great job with our audits. The Department of Revenue, we send our tax roll up and have received very clean audits each and every year. And so we want to continue that tradition.
Okay, let me check and see if we have any questions from our audience, and if not, let us mention both of the candidates were invited to participate this evening. Ghazanfar Saeed was invited, as well as Michelle Franklin, and we thank Michelle Franklin for being with us this evening. Let's go to your closing statement then.
Okay, so I just thank you again to the League of Women Voters for the opportunity to meet with you all this evening. If anybody has questions, I welcome the opportunity to speak with you. I am on social media, as well as I have a website, electmichellefranklin.com, where you're welcome to read some more and learn about me. It has really been an honor to serve the residents of St. Lucie County over the last 4 years, and I hope that I have earned your trust and that you will vote on November or beforehand in early voting so that I can continue my public service here.
Yes, and we have, let's see, some reminders of the early voting is going to start, I believe it's October 19th. And then definitely, there's always the election on November 3rd. You can always go in person. The mail-in ballots will go out, we believe, by the end of this week, so you'll start receiving those if you've received one. And thank you for being with us, Michelle Franklin, current property appraiser of St. Lucie County. And let's see if Andy Poley is going to take us out We certainly thank the League of Women Voters for doing all the, developing the good questions that we do with each of these forums. And
Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Ms. Franklin. I appreciate it. I have to go be on the radio. Thank you all. I hope you'll join us again at 8:30 for County Commissioner. I hope you can hear me.